Hello, I'm David Wells from Evo Public House here at WBOC's Historic Studio D. You're watching Delmarva Life.
It is great to have Chef David here. I think we could almost call him an artist in the kitchen. Would you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, for decades, Tangier Island only had one doctor, and the people of that island not only considered Dr. David Nichols in times of need, but he was really a part of their family.
Well, tragically, the people on the island lost their friend and their physician when he died of cancer in 2010. But his legacy lives on. WBOC's Steve Hammond joins us this afternoon to tell us more. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
Hey, good to see you all.
Remind us real quick about the legacy.
Well, Dr. Nichols for 30 years traveled once a week over to Tangier Island. He started going by boat, but then he became a pilot. He got his own plane, his own helicopter, and he would fly by helicopter over to Tangier once a week to treat the islanders. And they were dealing with all kinds of health issues. They still are, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he, in 2006, was named the country doctor of the year, which is a really big, prestigious award. And that's when he started to get on my radar screen. And I made a trip one summer over to Tangier, and he wasn't there at the time, but I said, I've got to come back and do a story about this. Is a great story that all of Delmarva needs to see. And so I went over and I saw Dr. Nichols and met with him, and we did this really neat story with him in their old rundown facility that was in desperate need of repair. And so we formed this friendship. We did this really fun, interesting story about the way he was just taking care of the islanders and the love that they have for him and the love that he had for them. It was really neat.
It was quite a commitment.
It was.
But then tragedy struck.
Right. It was in 2010, and he had cancer and it had gone in remission and had come back, and he had been nominated for a Jefferson Award, a WBOC Jefferson Award, and he won one. And so I went back over to present him with this Jefferson Award, and it was, as I say in the piece that airs tonight, that it was a real bittersweet moment because he was dying of cancer and he knew he only had a couple of months left. So there were tears. It was really, it was difficult. But he was such a brave man at peace with what was going to happen, and just the love in the room. It was really spectacular. So that was the second time that I went back to Tangier for the story.
Okay, so let's fast forward to present day.
Right.
All of his hard work, his planning has paid off.
It is really, really neat. So while he was still alive, they had opened the new Tangier Island Health Clinic. It's called the David B. Nichols Health Center. Beautiful building, high-tech equipment. They really do a nice job in there. And Inez Pruitt, who was his longtime PA, has really, she's always sort of run the show, and she continues to do so. But the really neat, there's Inez right there, but the really neat part of the story is that Dr. Nichols' son, Davy, is now really involved. He's not a doctor, but he does everything that they need him to do over there. He flies a doctor over once a week from the western shore of Virginia, and he does anything they need. And so they're providing a valuable health service to the people on the island, but they're doing a lot more. Now they're getting involved in trying to get people better health insurance. And they had a big health fair on the island where 60 providers from all over both the eastern and western shores came to Tangier one day. And in the school, they had different providers set up in the classroom. They had all this free testing. Wow. So it's really been neat.
So the clinic is really filling a void on the island.
It is, you know, and you see this in other parts of Delmarva as well. Tangier has a lot of older people, and you have some men who are in their 70s who are still working the water. You know, they've spent decades in the sun, so there are skin cancer issues, and you know, all the stuff you see as people get older. But it's a really, I'm sure that Dr. Nichols from above is thrilled with the way things are going, and I'm happy to share this story.
So the legacy of Dr. Nichols tonight, WBOC News at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Steve Hammond, thank you so much for joining us. Look
Good
forward
to see you
seeing
guys. Even though you're down the hall, I don't see as much.
We don't. We need to cross-visit a little bit more.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Well, still to come on Delmarva Life, relationships can be hard work, so you don't need anything getting in the way. But would you believe, get this, 1 in 5 couples blamed a certain social media site for the demise of their relationship. We'll tell you which one. Plus, we'll learn a few pointers on how to make it work with your spouse ahead of Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And while we're talking about your heart, Dr. Oz has more on how to really get it going.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. The best way to improve heart function is to sweat. That means get your cardio, any exercise that raises your heart rate. Choose the kind that's easiest on your knees and joints, like walking or swimming. Commit to 30 minutes a day and you'll reap many other benefits, like a smaller risk of diabetes and a smaller waist size.